The ocean is deep and strange, and sometimes, it's full of teeth. We've all heard of Jaws, the most famous great white shark in history. But did you know there are around 500 species of sharks, and some of them are either rare, super weird, or both? With that in mind, here are the 15 rarest shark species hidden in the ocean. Number 15. Helicoprian Shark. The Helicoprian is one massive predator that we no longer have to worry about while out doing a little swimming in the coastal waters. This giant went extinct around 250 million years ago. The fossil records, including some important recent discoveries, have allowed scientists to put together a fascinating picture of the Helicoprian. An example found in Idaho led to researchers concluding that the huge fish could grow to as much as 40 feet or 12 meters. That's twice the size of the great white. Another fascinating aspect of the Helicoprian is the formation of its teeth and jaw, and it's just this which has given it the nickname, the buzzsaw shark. The whirl of teeth resembling a buzzsaw was a mystery for many years, as attempts were made to construct the creature from these few remains, and the whirl was placed in a variety of positions on the fish's body before finally, in 2013, they decided once and for all it was a bizarre protrusion from the lower jaw, which allowed the species to catch and eat prey more easily. Furthermore, they were able to conclude that the Helicoprian was a kind of ratfish rather than a shark, although they are close relatives. But this rat shark monster, whatever it was, turns out to have been the biggest and most successful predator of the seas during its lifetime, as well as one crazy-looking fish. Number 14. Whale shark. Keeping on the theme of huge size, here's a champion fish, the largest fish in the world, still alive today, the whale shark. The name might be confusing to some, but these giants are definitely sharks and not mammals, although some of their behavior can resemble that of whales. For a start, their size is certainly whale-like, and they tend to grow to around 40 feet or 12 meters in length, which is as long as a school bus, and their mouths are around 5 feet or 1.5 meters wide. These huge mouths help whale sharks with filter feeding. This pretty much means opening that face hole as wide as possible and letting water pass through the body with internal organs picking up any morsels of food. This makes whale sharks a little less aggressive than their predatory cousins. Whale sharks can live pretty much anywhere in the world where the waters don't get too cold, and they seem to particularly enjoy the Red Sea, where the normally solitary creatures sometimes gather to feed. These sharks live a pretty long time too, up to 150 years, although the chances of seeing one in the wild are pretty slim these days, with their population declining by almost 65% since the 1950s, making these spectacular giants both fascinating and extremely rare. Number 13. Bamboo shark. From the giants of the shark species, we go to one of the smallest, the bamboo shark. This shark is also sometimes known as the cat shark due to its long whiskers, which function as a sensory gland, and it helps to navigate the ocean floor, as well as pick up the movements of predators and prey. These sharks can sometimes grow to 3 feet or 1 meter long and are a form of carpet shark, that is, sharks that swim slowly around the ocean floor, looking for morsels of food to eat. They themselves are a delicacy in Madagascar, and their habitat ranges all across the coastal waters of the Indian Ocean. While not the rarest sharks out there, their bamboo coloring certainly makes them tricky to spot on the ocean floor. They have special teeth which they can rotate in their mouths, one side being sharp and pointed for tearing into softer forms of prey, while the other side is flatter and adapted for chewing on shelled prey, while protecting the sharp part of the tooth from damage. This is one shark you could get to know yourself, as they are popular additions to home aquariums. That said, this shark is sometimes capable of a virgin birth, where females produce young without ever having mated. So if you happen to purchase a single female bamboo shark, you might end up with a few more mouths to feed than you had bargained for with this miraculous little shark. Number 12. Horned shark. The horned shark, as you might have guessed from its name, has a pretty unusual appearance, with its most prominent feature being 2 rigid horns over each of its eyes. They also have 2 spines sticking out from their backs, kind of like an old TV antenna. These small sharks live off the Pacific coast of North America and have a somewhat lazy air about them. They don't like to swim much, preferring to shuffle along the seabed, pushed by their fins, and in fact, the longest recorded distance a horned shark has been known to travel is about 10 miles or 16 kilometers. They might have called this the sloth shark. However, they are still predators and know how to catch a meal when they need one, and they largely hunt at night. But they too are sometimes the hunted, and our friend the Angelshark has been observed attempting to eat a horned shark, only to spit it out after getting a nasty sting from one of the spines. So, being popular off the coast of Mexico, you might say this is one hot and spicy shark. Number 11. Megamouth Shark. The Megamouth Shark. Can you see where this one is going? There's a clue in the name right there. The shark has, you guessed it, a really big mouth. Similar to the whale shark, the megamouth is a filter feeder, and in fact, the two species are closely related, with the megamouth being a little smaller. However, that mouth is up there with the best of them, giving it a characteristic gaping look which, while kind of terrifying, is only designed to catch small stuff. Where the megamouth stands out is its incredible rarity. These sharks are so mysterious, we hardly know anything about them, and in spite of its size, we only discovered their existence as recently as 1976. Overall, sightings amount to barely 60 encounters, since these giants prefer to live in the deepest oceans. Without increased trawling of the deep seas for new fish species to be marketed as human food, we may never have known of these sharks, but unfortunately, it is the same trawling which destroys them as we discover them, with many of the megamouths we have been able to study having turned up dead in trawler nets. Hopefully, we can unlock the mysteries of the behaviors and lives of the megamouth without disrupting their natural environment one day. Now it's time for today's topic. A flight passenger on a transatlantic journey captured footage that has left experts and the public in awe. While flying over the open ocean, the passenger noticed a massive shadow moving near an oil tanker below. Grabbing their phone, they managed to record what appears to be a shark-like creature swimming alongside the tanker. What's shocking is its size. It seemed almost as long as the tanker itself. The footage has sparked a wave of speculation among marine biologists and enthusiasts. Experts who analyze the video suggest the creature could be a previously undiscovered species of shark, one that has managed to evade detection in the vast, unexplored depths of the ocean. Its size and movement are unlike any known shark species, one marine expert commented. This could be a groundbreaking discovery. Others, however, remain skeptical, suggesting it could be an optical illusion or a misidentified whale. But the creature's distinct shark-like features and its sheer scale have left many convinced that this is something entirely new. For now, the footage remains under analysis, but the sighting has reignited curiosity about the mysteries of the deep. Could this be evidence of a giant predator we never knew existed? The world waits for answers. Number 10. Saw Shark. Back on the list of crazy-looking sharks that might belong in some kind of weird underwater carpentry kit along with the Hammerhead, we have the Saw Shark. This shark looks like it was designed by a high school kid with a vivid imagination, but it is 100% real and living out there in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. There are, in fact, now 8 different species of saw shark recognized by science, with the most recent discovery coming in 2014 when a new species was identified near the Philippines. These strange-looking creatures have their teeth protruding all along a flattened snout, which can make up almost 1/4 of their body length. The snouts are used for hunting and defense, as well as helping the sharks to detect electromagnetic signals coming from their prey. They pick up a signal and then use their snouts to dig up food from under the sandy seabed before sawing them to death and then eating whatever poor unfortunate mollusk happened to be sleeping there. Although they look terrifying, they are not considered dangerous to humans, mainly because they live so far from us and are extremely rare animals. There's only one fatal saw shark attack on record. Although rare, luckily these sharks are not considered under threat from humans, living far away from our fishing areas. Number 9. Frilled Shark. Here's one shark that looks like it just gave up on evolving, feeling pretty happy with its utterly terrifying prehistoric features. The beady green eyes and crinkly brown skin are just some of the features which make this look like a living fossil. And it also swims like a snake, waving its body through the water until it encounters its favorite prey, squid, which it snaps up and often swallows whole. Its rows of sharp, needle-like teeth are ideal for tearing apart soft-bodied squid, but it will happily eat other fish and sharks if they come close enough. Finally, the gills have a kind of frilled shape, which gives the shark its name, as well as the look of a 16th century courtier. Well, kind of. These sharks are mysterious and rare, living deep in the ocean, and we know little about them. Our best guess is that they are one of the rarest shark species on Earth, although whether they are endangered is unknown. Unlike some sharks, the frilled shark gives birth to live young, with the young hatching from their eggs inside the mother and then surviving on the yolk for up to 3.5 years, making it one of the longest gestation periods of any vertebrate. Number 8. Goblin Shark. If you've ever seen the old sci-fi horror movie Alien, you'll know that the most terrifying thing in all of space is the xenomorph, the eponymous alien of the film designed by Swiss artist H.R. Geiger with one intention: to scare the living daylights out of you. One feature most people remember from the xenomorph is that when it opens its mouth, another mouth creeps out to finish sucking the brains out of its victim. Well, you don't have to go to outer space to find such a creature, as there's one right here in our oceans, the Goblin Shark. These sharks live down on the ocean floor, most often in the seas around Japan, and are named for the resemblance to the terrifying goblins of Japanese folklore. They can grow up to 12 feet or 4 meters in length and are colored an unusual pink, just to add to their charm. Their pinkish hue is due to their translucent skin, which allows the blood vessels underneath to show through, giving them an eerie, otherworldly appearance. Goblin sharks are considered living fossils, as their lineage dates back over 125 million years, making them one of the oldest shark species still in existence. They are typically found at depths of 1,000 to 4,000 feet, where sunlight barely penetrates, and their slow, sluggish movements help them conserve energy in the cold, dark waters. Despite their fearsome appearance, goblin sharks are not aggressive and pose no threat to humans, as they prefer to feed on small fish, squid, and crustaceans. Their long, blade-like snouts are equipped with electroreceptors, allowing them to detect the faint electrical signals emitted by their prey. This adaptation is crucial for hunting in the pitch-black depths of the ocean. Scientists are still learning about these elusive creatures, as their deep-sea habitat makes them incredibly difficult to study. They are extremely rare, and we have only been able to study the few examples which have occasionally shown up in fishing nets, but their most striking feature is their extendable jaw. They have extra long noses which make detecting prey easier. But at the same time, the little fish and mollusks which form their diet get that extra split second to get away before the shark's mouth can react. Except the goblin shark can thrust its jaws out of its mouth to trap its prey in truly horrifying fashion. Truly, nature is sometimes just jaw-dropping. Number 7. Angular rough shark. This little shark, which lives down on the muddy seabed off the coasts of Europe and Africa, is both rare and vulnerable, and it looks a little like a tiny sailboat with its large protruding fins, as well as a body which has a kind of triangular shape to it. Like other bottom-dwelling sharks, the angular rough shark breathes through spiracles behind its eyes, and on this shark, they happen to be particularly large, giving these guys a little bit of the crazy eyes look. These sharks are slow-moving and rely on their camouflage to avoid predators, blending seamlessly into the muddy seabed. Their diet consists mainly of small fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, which they hunt by using their sharp teeth to crush shells and exoskeletons. Despite their small size, angular rough sharks are known to be quite resilient to environmental changes, though overfishing and habitat destruction have taken a toll on their populations. They are often caught as bycatch in trawl nets, which has contributed to their vulnerable status. Conservationists are calling for stricter regulations on bottom trawling to protect these unique sharks and their fragile habitats. The angular rough shark's unusual appearance and rarity have made it a subject of fascination for marine biologists, who are working to learn more about its behavior and life cycle. Public awareness campaigns are also being launched to educate people about the importance of preserving lesser-known shark species like this one. Maybe this is the reason behind one of the myths associated with the angular rough shark, that it brings bad luck to fishermen. For this reason, and that it has no commercial value, fishermen do their best to avoid catching these sharks. Furthermore, unlike a lot of sharks, even being caught for a short time seems to be fatal, and there are no cases of accidental catches being thrown back and surviving. They were thought to have gone extinct in the Adriatic Sea, but recent sightings have given hope of a comeback. Good news for sharks, but bad news for superstitious fishermen. Number 6. Thresher Shark. The thresher shark is one of the most fascinating species of shark in our oceans. A close relative of the great white shark, this species has one very distinctive feature: its enormous tail. The tail on a thresher shark can be almost as long as the shark itself, and one of its benefits is that it gives this species a huge speed advantage, making it one of the fastest sharks in the sea. Capable of swimming at speeds up to 30 miles per hour or 50 kilometers per hour, the name thresher comes from the farming tools that resemble the huge shark tails, and it was long assumed that the tails were used for hunting. Thresher sharks are known to be highly intelligent hunters, often working together to herd schools of fish into tight groups before striking with their tails. Their large eyes, adapted for low-light conditions, allow them to hunt effectively in deeper waters where sunlight barely penetrates. These sharks are typically found in tropical and temperate oceans, often near the surface but occasionally diving to depths of over 500 meters. Despite their fearsome hunting technique, thresher sharks are not considered a threat to humans and are generally shy around divers. Unfortunately, they are often targeted by commercial fisheries for their fins, meat, and liver oil, leading to a decline in their populations. Conservation efforts are underway to protect these unique sharks, including fishing bans in certain regions and the establishment of marine protected areas. Scientists continue to study their behavior and physiology, hoping to learn more about their role in marine ecosystems and how to ensure their survival. But it was not until 2010 that the technique was finally observed. It had been believed thresher sharks lash the tail from side to side to stun prey like sardines, but in fact, the shark arrives in a shoal at huge speed, then uses its fins to slam on the brakes before launching the tail over its head like a huge whip, killing and stunning several fish at once, which can be eaten at leisure. And you thought it was the front of the shark you had to watch out for. Thresher sharks are one of the rare species of shark that have warm blood, which gives them extra speed and agility, and they have a long history with humans, first described by Aristotle in ancient Greece. They have been at the center of many myths and folklore traditions of the sea. Watch out for that scorpion-like tail, though. Number 5. Angel Shark. The angel shark is like no other shark. In fact, it's easily mistaken for a ray due to its flat body. These bottom feeders prefer to lurk beneath the sandy seabed, waiting for unsuspecting prey to come just that little bit too close before their incredible strike speed sees them shoot out of cover at a 90-degree angle to grab their meal in a jaw full of sharp teeth. Most sharks have to constantly move to be able to breathe, allowing the water to flow through their bodies to get enough oxygen in. But the angel shark's hunting style means it spends a lot of time lying still, so it has spiracles on the top of its head which pump water through its body, allowing it to breathe while motionless. Their diet consists mainly of small fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, which they ambush with remarkable precision. Angel sharks are masters of camouflage, with their mottled skin patterns blending seamlessly into the sandy ocean floor. This ability to remain hidden not only helps them hunt, but also protects them from larger predators. Despite their fearsome appearance, angel sharks are not aggressive toward humans unless provoked, making them relatively safe to encounter while diving. However, their slow reproductive rate, with females giving birth to only a few pups at a time, makes them particularly vulnerable to overfishing and habitat destruction. Conservationists are working to raise awareness about the importance of protecting these unique sharks and their role in maintaining healthy marine ecosystems. Some marine reserves have been established to protect their habitats, offering hope for the recovery of their populations. These sharks, there are, in fact, 15 species of angel shark, like to live near coral reefs in the oceans surrounding the Americas, and luckily most of the nations in North America have now banned the fishing of this near-endangered species, so we can hope to see a recovery of the angel shark, sometimes paradoxically known as a sand devil, population. Angel or devil, that can only be good news. Number 4. Greenland Shark. Here's another pretty damn huge fish, the Greenland Shark. Although modern sharks can't compete with their ancient ancestors in terms of size, these sharks, who mainly inhabit the waters of the North Atlantic Ocean, can still grow to around 22 feet or 7 meters in length. The average size of a mature adult is more like 13 feet or 4 meters, and this full size is achieved at around age 150. That's right, these sharks only reach adulthood at 150 years old. That means that parent Greenland sharks today have had to put up with teenagers since the American Civil War. In fact, radiocarbon dating from the eye lenses of some individuals has placed their age at least 500 years old. That makes this the oldest vertebrate species on Earth. Greenland sharks are slow-moving creatures, often referred to as sleeper sharks, due to their sluggish pace, which helps them conserve energy in the cold, deep waters they inhabit. Their diet is surprisingly varied, consisting of fish, squid, and even scavenged remains of larger animals like seals and whales. These sharks are known to have a unique tolerance for low oxygen levels, allowing them to thrive in the deep, icy waters of the Arctic. Despite their slow metabolism and ancient lineage, they are top predators in their ecosystem, playing a crucial role in maintaining the balance of marine life. Interestingly, their flesh is toxic to humans due to high levels of trimethylamine oxide, but it can be consumed after a lengthy fermentation process. As is done in Icelandic cuisine, scientists are fascinated by their longevity and are studying them to uncover secrets about aging and resilience in vertebrates. Their mysterious nature and ability to survive in extreme conditions make them one of the most intriguing species in the ocean. Think about that. There are sharks in our seas right now who were born at a time when King Henry VIII was on the throne of England, and the Spanish were still at war with the Aztecs in Mexico. Although the Greenland sharks live far from humans, they are now a near-threatened species, often accidentally caught in trawler nets. Let's hope these sharks get the chance to fulfill their incredible longevity more often. Number 3. Nurse Shark. The nurse shark is definitely not the rarest shark on our list. In fact, these sharks remain quite abundant in their natural habitat, which is the bottom of the sea, in shallow warm waters of the eastern Pacific and western Atlantic. Their name comes from the Old English word meaning bottom-dwelling shark, hers, which over time became nurse, and they do make a strange sucking sound as they go about their business feeding on the ocean floor, not unlike that of a nursing baby. Nurse sharks are nocturnal hunters, spending their nights searching for prey such as crustaceans, small fish, and mollusks. Their powerful jaws allow them to crush the hard shells of crabs and clams with ease. During the day, they are often found resting in groups, piled on top of one another in underwater caves or crevices. This social behavior is unusual for sharks, which are typically solitary creatures. Nurse sharks have small, barb-like structures around their mouths called barbels, which help them detect prey hidden in the sand. Their ability to remain motionless for long periods, unlike many other sharks, is due to their ability to pump water over their gills while stationary. This unique adaptation allows them to thrive in environments where other sharks might struggle. Despite their docile nature, Nurse sharks play an important role in maintaining the balance of their ecosystems by controlling populations of smaller marine animals. They are slow-moving and not particularly dangerous to humans, although at up to 14 feet in length, that's 4.2 meters, they are impressive giants. Some divers have discovered that the smaller ones can even be extremely friendly to humans, stopping to be petted and stroked, and seeming to enjoy the attention, like the puppy dogs of the ocean floor. That said, an angry nurse shark will give a diver a pretty nasty bite if it feels like it, so maybe not best to get too friendly. They are prized for their skins, which, being unusually smooth, make high-quality leather, and the oil produced by their large livers. While under pressure from human activity, we can at least expect nurse sharks to prosper in the wild for some time yet. Number 2. Basking Shark. The basking shark is the second biggest shark in the oceans after the whale shark, and this giant can be found in warm, temperate coastal waters all over the world. Basking sharks are plankton eaters, just like their whale shark cousins, and they glide through the ocean with that huge mouth wide open to filter out the tiny sea creatures as they pass through. These sharks have figured in the mythology of many countries, especially Britain and Japan, and this tradition has included even recent myth creations where the rotten carcasses of basking sharks, known as globsters, washing up on British and Japanese beaches have been believed to be those of ancient plesiosaurs or sea monsters unknown to humanity. Despite their massive size, basking sharks are gentle giants, posing no threat to humans and often allowing divers to swim alongside them. Their distinctive gill slits, which almost encircle their heads, are one of their most recognizable features and are used to filter up to 2,000 tons of water per hour. Basking sharks are known to migrate long distances, with some traveling thousands of miles to find food or warmer waters. Scientists have tracked their movements using satellite tags, revealing fascinating insights into their behavior and migration patterns. Unfortunately, their slow reproductive rate, with females giving birth to only a few pups at a time, makes them particularly vulnerable to overfishing and habitat destruction. Conservationists are working to raise awareness about the importance of protecting these gentle giants and their role in maintaining healthy marine ecosystems. Their presence in the ocean is a sign of a thriving plankton population, which is crucial for the entire food chain. Furthermore, these slow-moving and non-aggressive sharks have long been popular sources of oil, food, and leather, but the species is now endangered and protected in many countries. The basking shark might also have been popular with fishermen due to having the smallest size brain ratio of any shark, meaning they're probably a little on the slow-witted side. Certainly not the Einstein of the shark world. The smallest shark out there? Well, it's one that the basking shark is sometimes mistaken for the great white shark. Number 1. Hammerhead Shark. One of the most recognizable sharks in our oceans is the charismatic hammerhead shark. With its enormous hammer-shaped head, there are, in fact, 10 different species of hammerhead, with the biggest being the great hammerhead, which can grow up to 18 feet or 5.5 meters, and weigh in at 1,000 pounds or 450 kilograms. The chances of meeting one of these monsters are slim though, as the great hammerhead is in danger of extinction, being overfished for its fins, which are eaten as soup in some parts of the world. Hammerheads are often found in warm, tropical waters, and they are known to migrate long distances in search of food or breeding grounds. They are social creatures, with some species forming schools of up to 100 individuals during the day, dispersing at night to hunt. Their diet consists mainly of stingrays, squid, and small fish, and their unique head shape allows them to pin down stingrays on the ocean floor with incredible precision. Despite their fearsome reputation, hammerheads are generally not aggressive toward humans and are more likely to flee than attack. However, their curious nature means they may approach divers, making them a favorite among underwater photographers. Conservation efforts are underway to protect these sharks, including marine protected areas and bans on shark finning in certain regions. Scientists are also studying their unique physiology, particularly their highly developed sensory systems, to better understand how they navigate and hunt in the ocean. The hammerhead shape gives the shark a hunting advantage, it is believed, as it allows the shark to carry more of the cells that allow it to sense the electromagnetic fields of its prey, giving it far better electromagnetic vision than other species. These sharks are also known to spend a lot of their time swimming sideways, which allows for more efficient swimming, and one species is the only omnivorous shark known to science, enjoying seaweed snacks along with its main diet of meat. Finally, these sharks get tanned from the sun and seem to have properties in their skin which resist cancer, helping us to understand skin cancer better. Another incredible species of shark. Which of these sharks did you find the most incredible? What kind of unusual shark head do you think evolution will create next? Let us know in the comments below. Also, check out the other cool things appearing on the screen right now. See you next time.